G'day all. Look, I just thought I'd do a video on cleaning silver coins. People always ask me, how do you clean your silver coins? Because there are a number of different ways you can clean a silver coin. So the coin, this is one I actually found at the Ararat token hunt, is an 1896 sixpence, and as you can see has got a fair amount of black on it, which is the silver sulfides. So what happens is the silver reacts in the soil with the sulfates and you get this black on your coins. This is pretty bad, this coin, so I'll show you how I would clean up this coin. It's a 92.5% silver coin, and yeah, it's basically just worth its silver value. I've already checked that, and hopefully we can do some before and afters, and I'll take you through the good and the bad about most of these different ways of cleaning silver coins. Cheers. Okay, so this is the first one, which is electrolysis. I'm not going to take it through electrolysis. I'll show you my best, what I think is the best way of cleaning these coins. But what happens, so this is an old mobile phone charger. You have a positive, negative, and what we're basically going to do is run a current through this. You'd have a solution there, usually you put in bicarb or something like that, and what happens is that sulfide is reduced, released, and what basically happens is that the blackness goes off. Unfortunately, probably the bad thing about this, and what I don't like about this, is you'll get heat where it connects obviously to the clip there, so you can get burning of the coin. And also, even though these are fairly much almost 100% silver, they're 92.5% silver, there's still impurities in them. So what happens is when you run a current through them, unfortunately, you'll find that there's pitting in this, and I'll show an example. I can show you an example of coins that I've done this with. So in terms of setting up a electrolysis and doing this, probably not worth your while. That's in my opinion anyway. Cheers. Rightio, so this is an example of one that's gone through electrolysis. As you can see, it's an 1816 shilling. It's in very, very poor condition, and as you can see, there's some very fine pitting, very inconsistent. It takes a lot of the black stuff off. If you just wanted to get the date off, it's a good way of doing it. But again, a lot of mucking around just to get a date off. You'll probably see just where the end of my finger is. There's sort of little bits there where there's pitting, and there's sort of just general pitting right across that coin. So didn't come out terrific. Alright, the next stuff you can use is aluminium. So there's a number of ways you can use this. Typically what people do is get a small bit, you get your coin in there, and you actually spit on it, and then you basically fold that over and hold it tight. Now you'll feel it heating up, and you also get the rotten egg smell, which is basically hydrogen sulfides, rotten egg gas, which gets taken out. Now, as you can see, just putting your finger on, see how there's these little ridges and so forth. It's very, very hard to keep that flat. And what happens when you do it this way, you get a coin like this, and you can see just across where the 3 is there, across here, where there's inconsistency. Again, it doesn't come up all that well, and it's very because it's heating, and it's also very, very much another chemical reaction. You find that the coins don't come up in any great conditions. So this coin probably would have looked similar to that coin, but obviously, well, I'm hoping to show that this coin will come out a little bit better than that one. So there's other ways you can do it. You can put this into a bowl, you can drop it in, you can put in bicarb, and that will again release it. But what we're talking about is a chemical reaction. Again, because this is not pure, what happens is that you actually lose some of the integrity of the coin. I know this coin has just basically got the silver value, but it's also good for presentation. So we want to try to get something that's nice when we present it. So that's that one. So bicarb soda can just be used on its own. So what you can just do is just put a little bit on the coin, just wet that a little bit, and just rub it around. And it does take off some of the sulfides. Again, it's fairly abrasive, so you get some micro scratches. And as I showed you earlier, I've actually taken basically some close-ups of this, so hopefully we can see the before and the after and show that the technique that I'm going to use, and hopefully you'll use at home, will preserve the integrity in terms of those fine scratches on the coins. Very good with especially 50% silvers, and if you just want to clean them up again. But quite simple, quite easy, quite safe. A lot safer than some of these other things that we can use, such as acids and CLR. So this is just another nasty chemical, even though it's got environmentally safe on it by the US EPA. And again, this sort of cleans deposits and so forth of it. But it's not too bad on the 50% silvers, especially when you've got iron staining. That can get it off. So that's those ones. Now let's see what else we can find here. Okay, so what I've got here is just two different types of ultrasonic cleaners. This is just a tiny one. You can get them on eBay for $10 or something like that. Not real great, but again, you can put solutions such as CLR and some other stuff in there, and ultrasonic can actually clean them, and it's a little bit less abrasive than using some of the bicarbs and so forth. You can go to larger ones such as this. So for example, some of the gold that I find, I tend to put it in here, put some jewelry cleaning solution in there, and that cleans the gold nuggets up really well as well. So it's worth getting one of those because they're quite good for cleaning. And again, this is a less abrasive, and depending on what you're mixing it with, you're not actually causing a chemical reaction. There's obviously other things such as lemon juice that people use as well, but again, we're looking at fairly harsh acids and so forth that will attack the coin. So what do I use to clean old 92.5% silver coins like this? Actually, a melamine sponge. So you won't believe it, and yes, there is some rubbing involved in this, but given how light this sponge is, it doesn't seem to impact in terms of the scratching. And as I said, we'll show this later on, and you'll be amazed with the results. So this is just one from a Japanese store that we have in Australia. There's Chucks. You can get these at every single supermarket and so forth. So I'll show you how good these are at making that look like a really nice coin. And the important part about the melamine sponges is that it doesn't make them really shiny and so forth, like they're almost like they're fake, which sometimes happens when you put them in the bicarb and you scratch it. So it won't get everything off, but it'll make the coin look a hell of a lot better for you. So what we're going to do next is you're going to watch me gradually clean the top of this coin, and you'll be able to see what happens in terms of how good it looks after it. Cheers. Rightio, so normally I would clean this by the sink, but not by the sink, so I'm just in the desk. So just put a little bit of water on that. We'll just start on this side. Again, just roll. Look at it. Look how it comes off. Unbelievable. You have an idea of how that's coming off now. Look at that. that side. So one of the things you'll notice is it doesn't come out that shiny bit. It really is just a nice dull sort of, it just looks like someone's had it in its drawer for a long time. So alright, so we'll have a go on the other side. Again, if I kept on going with this, I basically get all of this clean. So I'll just show it, because this is probably the worst side over here. Sorry about the shaking. What do you think about that? I'll just try it. Probably won't work as well like this. So I'm not whacking that. You see how that's coming out now? So that's pretty good. So what I'll do is I'll finish that off. Again, all you do is just rub that. That's only just using one of those, and I'll show you what that looks like under the microscope. So it looks like it's not bad condition, this one, so should scrub up really well. Okay, so what I've got here is a little microscope that I can actually have a look at the surface of the sixpence that we're looking at. So I can move that around. As you can see, it's fairly corroded, got a lot of sulfide. It almost looks like it's got a little bit of rust on there too. So 1896 there. Yeah, you can also see some of the very fine scratches. And if I turn that over, we now put that into the sunlight. And there, and then see the other side. So there's a veil head of Queen Victoria, and if you go down here, you can see some of the writing. Still got a little bit of gunk on it, mud on that, but you can still see the sulfide, the black stuff right around that. Very thickened patches, especially up this top end here. So when we clean this, it might be pretty difficult to get all of that off. So the reason for showing this is we're going to do a before picture very close up, and then we'll do an after picture very close up. So I'll just quickly show you. So this is a little setup there. So it's all pretty good, and you can go really close if you want, and get some very close photos. As you can see there, you would have probably seen on the side there, there's some shots there of other things, such as some of the smaller, I'll just turn that off, some of the smaller nuggets. So that's what gold nuggets look like as well. And other coins. So there's a Victoria threepence, 1855. Just to give you an idea. So that's quite good. You can get some really good pictures like that. Some nice specimen gold. Alright, so that's the before picture. Let's have a look after I've done it and what the after picture looks like. Okay, so here we go. So we've cleaned it up. So this is obverse. As you can see, there's a veil head of Queen Victoria, and I'll just try to slowly move that around. As you can see, most of the there you go. You can even see the little symbols underneath the head there. So that's pretty cleaned up pretty well. There's still a little bit of probably just move it over here a bit. Just a little bit over here. There's still a little bit of sulfide there, but it hasn't got that shine to it. So to me it's a lot more natural as a look, and it comes up. And as you can see, there's all of those scratches are all scratches that through its actual use, and not through using the soft melamine sponges. So just turn it on the other side, And then you can see what it looks like. So on sixpence, 1896. So I think the other part about that, again, with some of the issues about the other ones, where you're doing your reactions and you're getting, you know, pitting and so forth, you just don't get that with this. So to me, it's come up a really, really nice coin. So I'll show you in the light a bit. Just take it out from there. So there it is there. And I reckon that's cleaned up alright. Very easy. You're not electrocuting yourself, you're not poisoning yourself or poisoning the kids. It just comes up as a really, really nice clean coin, and to me it doesn't do any further damage. So that's what I recommend for cleaning, especially the 92.5% silver coins. I hope you enjoyed the video and my other videos. Cheers.